Welcome back, I'm Alaina. How to get rid of burnout at work. By the end of this video, I'll show you the real reason why you're burning out and how to get rid of it so it never happens again. Stay tuned. First, we'll uncover what burnout is and how it's actually stopping you from having a thriving business that you deserve. Next, we'll unbox the real reason why you're burning yourself out, and it's probably not what you think. Then we're going to discuss one of the top ways that you can fill your tank so you stop running on empty. Then, how to lean in and let go. Next, we're going to be talking about the one thing that you may be afraid of doing that will be life-changing for your business. And the one key word that will create more freedom so you can work on your business instead of always working in your business. By the end of this video, you're going to be armed with a secret weapon that will help take your business to the next level without burning yourself out. So let's get started. So what is burnout anyway, right? So there's a whole series of things that happen. Essentially, it's because you're running your tank on empty over and over and over and over again. Now, I typically use the gas analogy with a car, but in this case, it's more like an oil analogy of what happens if you keep running your car on dirty oil and not put in fresh, clean oil. Eventually, your car is going to start to sputter and sputter and sputter, and it still be running, but eventually you're going to burn your engine out. And that's exactly what happens to you when you're running yourself on empty. So let's look at what the symptoms are. Now, you may already know I'm already burned out, but just in case, let's check it out. Okay, so here are the symptoms of burnout. You may be cynical or critical, right? And that can mean of yourself, it can mean of other people, it can mean the circumstances. You drag yourself to work or have difficulty getting started, like you just do not want to get out of bed, right? You're irritable, impatient with team, your clients, and even your family. You lack energy and you're not consistently productive, like you're always running on really low energy. And you find it really hard to concentrate. You may actually be having achievements, but you lack satisfaction from those achievements. You feel disillusioned about your business. It's never going to work out. It's always going to be like this. I'm never going to get out of this. You're using food, drugs, alcohol, shopping, sex, whatever it is to feel better, to numb yourself out. You have difficulty sleeping. Now, I see clients when they're burnt out that have not only difficulty sleeping, but they wake up in the middle of the night with basically panic attacks. You have headaches, stomach or digestive issues, or other physical symptoms. Now, those are typically how you know if you've got a bunch of those that you're actually burned out. The key to really clearing burnout and ensuring it doesn't happen again is to look at what are the limiting beliefs underlying burnout. Now, I have a client who is doing phenomenally well. I mean, she cut her time from 12 to 14-hour days, was working 6-hour days. She was in burnout. She was in adrenal fatigue. She was having major cortisol issues in her body. It was causing all kinds of health symptoms. And she started making a lot more money and having more fun in her business. And then something happened to her business and it required her to transition in a specific way. And we weren't working together at the time. And she started to go back into her old patterns of working around the clock to get it done. And she said she caught herself. Just as she was really about to burn herself out, she caught herself and started using the tools and technique that she learned from working together and brought herself back into a state of calm, knowing that things would get done and everything would be all right, right? So you've got limiting beliefs that are creating the situation in the first place. And if you want to learn more about the limiting beliefs that are, and even how they got started, so how to balance, this is a video that I did on how to balance your work and personal life. I talk all about that and where the subconscious mind, where the programming comes from, how you're programmed. And then you can watch this video where I talk specifically about the beliefs around your work. Identifying and clearing the limiting beliefs is the root of the issue. The issue isn't actually too much work. I know you might think it's too much work, but that actually isn't the issue. Now, if you're an employee, right, because sometimes people are watching these videos and they're not actually business owners, then actually working too many hours since you're not in control of what you do may actually be a contributing factor. So just understand that. Now, most people, when they become entrepreneurs, have worked in some form of corporate environment. environment, and corporate culture is horrific for working long hours and having issues. So most people, when they come from corporate environments, are used to consistently long and grueling hours. And now all of a sudden, even though you don't have a boss, you are the boss, you're still working yourself at the same level. And so understanding the limiting beliefs that are driving that, because that's not healthy for your body, it's not healthy for your business. It is not the way to help your business thrive. So you need to be thriving to have your business thrive. And so it's about getting out of burnout and clearing the limiting beliefs so that you can get into a thriving space, not in a survival space. When you're in burnout, you're in survival mode, right? You're in your sympathetic nervous system in fight, flight, or freeze. You're just doing what you absolutely must to stay afloat so that you don't sink. Now, one of the keys to getting out of burnout, in addition to shifting your limiting beliefs and shifting your paradigm around work, is really being in a self-loving and self-caring space. Now, they're not the same thing. So we think, okay, what is self-loving? Is that self-care? Well, it's definitely not taking a bubble bath, but what it is, although that could be fun if you really like it, but what it really is about what refuels your tank. What is really self-loving? So what's really self-loving is putting yourself first. What's really self-loving is taking responsibility for you being the creator of your life. That's super self-loving, actually, to go, I created this burnout. And if I created this burnout, I could create something entirely different that fuels me, that lights my soul on fire instead. Now, looking at self-care, that might be things like yoga, it might be dancing, it might be having dinner with friends, it might be whatever it is that lights your boat, whatever hobby, for example, you have. So many of my clients have put their hobbies on hold for their businesses, and then when they reclaim their time, they're able to go back to those hobbies and spend fun time doing what they love to do rather than those grueling hours in their business. And it massively fuels their tank so that when they focus on their work, they're able to be far more productive in far less time. Running your business doesn't have to be hard, take long, grueling hours, or cause you to burn out. And each week, I give you fantastic, amazing tips on how to run your business, working less hours and make consistently more money. So you want to make sure that you like and subscribe so you get notified when those videos come out. So like and subscribe now. Check out this video on how to work on your business, not in your business, where I talk about delegation and the biggest issues that people have delegating and how that's actually holding you back, and why you not delegating would be causing you burnout, because you're not able, like, you can't do everything in your business. It's not meant to be like that, right? So they used to say about raising a family that it takes a village, and to really have a thriving business, it takes more than just you. So make sure you tune into that video after this one so you can learn more about delegating and how to do it effectively. Now, here is one of the keys to really getting yourself out of burnout. And it's a two-part process. This is the magic word. I told you that there was one magic word that would make all the difference in the world to you. No. That's the magic word. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I don't have the time to do that. No, I would love to help you, but that's not going to happen. No, I don't have the bandwidth for that, even though I would love to help you. No. When you learn how to master the art of no, because here's the thing, for every time you're saying yes to something somebody else wants that isn't in your highest good, you're saying no to something that you want for you. There's only so many hours in the day, only one of you. You saying yes to someone else is saying no to you. So by learning how to master the art of no with compassion, with grace, to be able to set clear boundaries will really help you get out of burnout, to really focus. And this is the next part, putting yourself first. It will help you really focus. By you saying no to others will really help you put yourself first. Now you're like, but how can I say no to my daughter? How can I say no to my son? How can I say no to my husband or wife? Or how can I say no to this team member? And the real truth is that when you fill your tank up, it literally overflows to other people. right? You want to give that back. You're a giver. That's why you're in the position you're in the first place, is because there's over-giving going on here. And by you actually filling up your own tank and then overflowing it will allow you to give so much more. It's why I'm sure you've heard the cliche about putting your own oxygen mask on first. It's exactly why they do it, because if you're trying to put everybody else's oxygen mask on first, you run out of air. What happens when you run out of air? You die. So when you put on your oxygen mask first, then you're able to help other people. But if you don't, you're running on empty and you're really not able. You're depleting yourself more and more, which is contributing and piling on more and more burnout. So when my client Brandy first started working with me, she was feeling absolutely depressed. She was so burnt out. She couldn't get herself to take action in her business. Now, it was a business that she had with her husband, and her husband kept saying, "You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you." He thought he was being her cheerleader, but all that was happening was that she was feeling more pressure to perform and take action when she felt like she could barely get out of bed. And by doing the work of clearing the beliefs, by following her intuitive guidance of learning how to tap into that intuition, learning how to tap into her inner genius and following her guidance, she was able to come to a place of thriving where she finally started. Her biggest issue was not putting herself first, of giving herself away. She felt like it was her job to take care of other people. And when she realized it was completely depleting her and making her useless in her business, she realized she had to start putting herself first. And now she's becoming masterful at doing it. And she has more energy than she's seen in years. She has more vibrancy than she's seen in years. And she's so much more effective at growing and scaling her business. So in this video on how to work less than 40 hours a week, I give you actual tips on how to collapse your time so you can start working less in your business. So make sure you tune into that video now. Thanks, I'm Alaina, and I'll see you on the next video.